call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Luana Karolina takes on Michelle Montague this Saturday at UFC Fight Night, Perth, Australia. And Luana Karolina, 32 years old, 5'7", with a 69-inch reach and 11-4 in her career. Been in the UFC for a while now. Made her debut back in 2019, coming off of Dana White's Contender Series. Had some good performances, some not so good performances. Heading into this one on a 3-fight winning streak. Granted, not against the best competition, but she is primarily a striker. Moves side to side well. Uses her lateral movement, very, very light on the feet. Throws with bad intentions. Very aggressive. One of those kind of volume strikers once she gets in range. But she does have a long reach for the division, which she uses well with her jabs. Her teep kicks. Good high kicks. Good knees, elbows from the clinch. So pretty effective on the feet. She's only a jiu-jitsu blue belt, though. She does have decent takedown defense, about 74%, but she does get taken down a lot in her fights. Taking on Michelle Montague, who's 31, 5'9", with a 69-inch reach, and she is 6-0, undefeated, heading into this fight, making her UFC debut against Karolina, who, that's a tough task for somebody making their UFC debut. She's been a pro since 2022. Had a pretty successful amateur career before that, but she's going to be 2 inches taller. They're going to have the same reach, and they're going to be roughly the same age. But Michelle Montague, has decent striking. She really uses it to kind of just set up her takedowns more than anything, but comes from an extensive background in wrestling. She was a former member of the New Zealand national wrestling team. So has a lot of credentials on the amateur wrestling scene before transitioning over to MMA. So very strong double legs, good chain wrestling, good top control, ground and pound. I think all of her wins are by submission, rear naked choke. Crazy, 6 wins in a row, all by rear naked choke. So jiu-jitsu purple belt, obvious ability to finish fights when she gets it there. Used to fight in the PFL, Bellator, now making it into the UFC. So Luana Karolina, she's a decent striker, more of a point striker, I would say. Doesn't have tons of power or KO potential. She's okay everywhere, I would say. But I think Montague is going to get this one done just because she's so proficient in one area. She's very good in the wrestling and the grappling department, and I would say that's Karolina's kind of worst area. I wouldn't say worst area, I would say. It's just not her strong suit. The stats say that she has 74% takedown defense, but if you look through her fights, you look at her stats, like she's getting taken down in almost all of her fights. Some of them she's winning, some of them she's losing. But you look at her record, and she's got some wins in the UFC, but it's not against the best competition. Priscilla Cachoeira, Poliana Botelho, and like I said, her last 3 fights, Ivana Petrovic, Julia Stoliarenko, Lucy Pudilova. I just don't really rate these wins, honestly. And then losing to Joanne Wood, got knocked out by Molly McCann, got knee-barred pretty easily by Ariane Lipski. She does have a win over Lupita Godinez, but I think Lupita took that on short notice and up a weight class. So, and she still got several takedowns in that fight. I would say that Godinez won the grappling piece of that fight. So, I think that, even like the people on her resume who aren't that great are still getting takedowns on her. People that aren't primarily grapplers, aren't primarily wrestlers, aren't the best skilled overall are still getting takedowns on Luana Karolina. And I just don't think she has the power or the ability to just get tons of respect from Montague to keep her from pressing forward and shooting takedowns and eventually getting her takedowns. Montague is green. She's fairly new into her MMA career, but she is a really good wrestler, and I think that she'll be able to exploit the gap in Karolina's game. She's bigger. She's stronger. I think she used to fight at 145 pounds in the PFL, so curious to see how that cut down to 135 goes for her. But I think she's going to be the much stronger, athletic fighter, and obviously the better grappler. I think she'll be one of the best grapplers or the best wrestler that Karolina has faced in her career. So, like I said earlier, Karolina was subbed easily by Ariane Lipski. She gives up takedowns too easily and too frequently to not that great of opponents. So I think Montague will be able to exploit that piece of her skill set and out-grapple her, land damage, land control to get a decision. But more than likely, I think that she'll eventually get the takedowns, find the back, and get a 7th rear naked choke in a row. So I'm going to go with Michelle Montague to get this one done by submission. Thanks.